I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. So kick off your shoes and relax your feet and stay connected to us. That's social media, BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is a landscape designer who is helping New York City be more green and alive. So please welcome to the show, Marnie Marjarell. Marnie, welcome.
Hi, Dr. Bob. Thanks for having me.
You're doing all these wonderful things in our city, making things greener, making things happen with all those wonderful sounds of the city, mixed in with the things that you love. Talk about it. How did you get started with it?
It's a good question. I think it all starts with my mom. She was a landscape designer in New York City, and I grew up working for her off and on, and she still helps me with my business. So she's still a vital part of making the city a more beautiful place. And I just wanted to be outdoors, working with my hands and just kind of physically changing the city instead of
Yeah.
behind a computer. So it
Yeah.
just seemed like a great fit.
Yeah. And you took what your mom, what you've learned from mom, and you went to Columbia University and you got into biology and you put all of that together. How's that working out for you?
Biology conservation was a great base for really getting a mission and a vision for what I wanted to do. I wanted to change New York City and nature in, bring more nature into the city.
Yeah.
So it helped me think about how I could do that.
Yeah, and then you went on to do landscaping at and designing at the Brooklyn Botanical Garden.
Well, I
How's it?
studied there. I
You
got
studied
my
there.
certificate of horticulture there, and it yeah, it helped inform all my design work. I became much more knowledgeable about native plants, and I learned a lot about just overall gardening. So
Yeah,
it brought all of my interests into actually being able to do it.
yeah. Do you also do rooftop gardening, or because you
Yes,
see a lot of that?
yeah,
Sometimes you're on a bridge or something. You look down, you see green grass and things growing on rooftops.
yeah, yeah. I wish we would see even more of it.
Yeah, yeah. So you're into that. That's one of the things that you do.
That's my specialty, and it's we have a lot of underused rooftop space that could be converted into natural habitat,
Yeah,
into a real environmental resource for this city
yeah.
to alleviate a lot of our environmental problems here.
And it will alleviate problems such as.
Stormwater overflow. So combined sewage overflow is something that happens every time it rains in New York City because we have an antiquated sewage system. So green roofs act as a sponge, absorbing that stormwater and reducing flooding and overflow. It also cools the city because plants just cool the air temperature. And that's really important because we live in an urban heat island effect, which means
Yeah.
that it's much hotter here than outside of the city, and green roofs help to reduce that. It also is a place that we can create natural habitat for birds, migratory butterflies, all sorts of bees that desperately need this kind of space to
Yeah.
call home.
Yeah, when we were younger, you saw a lot of different butterflies and other animals, but they kind of, where did they go? You think they're going to come back? This will help.
Well, I think this helps. We are in a place right now that some people are calling the insect apocalypse. So
Wow.
it's crucial that we create these spaces for insects because we really need them.
Yeah.
I know sometimes people get grossed out by insects. They just think, oh, cockroaches, things like that. But without birds, bees, butterflies, and a host of other pollinators, we just wouldn't even
Yeah.
be here.
I mean, we can move the cockroaches aside.
Yeah, that's not what it is. That's not the insects that we're really trying to protect. They don't need our protection. They're
But
doing
we really
fine.
need bees to
We
pollinate our
do.
flowers. How
Yes,
important is that?
we really need. It's crucial for our ecosystem, which we still depend on. We're still part of this whole natural system. Just because we live in the city doesn't mean that we're excluded from being part of nature.
What impact does your project have on the current climate crisis?
Well, New York City is definitely becoming a hotter and wetter place. And I think we've seen that this summer with pretty intense heat waves and then, a week where it just rains nonstop. So green roofs help reduce flooding, help reduce combined sewage overflow, and that means we have reduced water pollution, which is a big problem in New York City.
Yeah,
And also, it reduces air pollution. So every time it gets really hot, the air pollution gets worse. That's why you get this alert of air quality,
yeah,
um, bad air quality day. Green roofs help reduce that. So it cools the temperature and it absorbs heavy particulates in the air so that we have cleaner air, cooler air, and cleaner water.
yeah, and it helps people with sensitive people with problems with the bronchitis and asthma, things of that nature.
Asthma,
Yeah,
huge problem in New York City, asthma, especially with children.
yeah. Wow, this is definitely a great help. Are there any opportunities to get involved and support alive structures?
Oh God, yes, please come volunteer. I'll put you to work. Come, Dr. Bob. Come help me
It's
weed my
okay.
green roof.
If I got the
Yeah, I
time, I
know.
will be there.
Come.
I will roll up my sleeves and I'll get busy with you.
I bet you would.
Yes.
I believe you.
What's needed? I mean, you can use some volunteers to help out, right?
Yeah, I do. I manage 60,000 square feet of rooftop space
Uh,
in North Brooklyn. And we need to make sure that invasive species don't take over our intended species, the species that are native and really crucial for native bees. And I want to maintain these spaces as natural habitat.
yeah,
But we are constantly fighting weeds that we don't want and that can take over. So it can be a lot of work,
yeah.
but it's very satisfying.
But
But
you'll
I do
take
need help.
yeah, you'll take us on a tour first, right? Should we get a group of people,
I would.
get our BronxNet
Oh my
cameras,
God.
and go from rooftop to rooftop and take a look?
Totally. Let's do it. I
You
would
got
love
it.
that.
We'll talk to
Okay,
Steve and
cool.
our producers and see if we can get like a little crew to make that happen.
Thank you. That'd be great. I'd love to be able to show more people.
And if people are interested in gardening and planting and have no experience, what would you tell them? How do they get involved?
Well, I tell them to join a community garden maybe first to look in their
Yes.
neighborhood to see if there's any community gardening opportunities. Um, you can always take a class. Maybe there's some classes at the NYBG, the New York Botanical Gardens, which is an amazing resource. And I mean, any way to get your hands dirty and start growing stuff despite being in the middle of this concrete jungle,
Yeah.
it's so therapeutic. We really need it, as a city, as a population. It will really help our mental health. So if you have any opportunities to garden, just do it.
Yeah. Get your
You'll be
hands
happy.
dirty. You may find
Yes,
that you have a green thumb.
yes. A lot of people do actually.
How did you find out that this is something that, well, you know what to do to make things grow?
Yeah, most of the time. You know, it takes care. Honestly, it's just like anything. Uh, plants take maintenance. They're not like a concrete wall or doing construction.
Yeah.
They're alive. So sometimes things are urgent, like
Yeah.
if people don't have their irrigation systems on or it's a heat wave, and I'm like calling on my clients, like, please water your plants. Remember to water your plants.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
just tell everybody out there, remember to water your plants. I know we just had a week of rain, but I walk by the city and I see people's planters in the front yards, and I just want to ring the doorbell and be like, you need to water your plants. Like that would be really crazy if I just went around doing that, like
Yeah.
ringing everyone's doorbell and be like, excuse me, can you please water your plants?
Yeah.
They
Put a
really need it.
patrol. Yeah. Go on patrol. Go
Totally.
around knocking on doors. Hey, not only vote, but water your
And
plants.
right, 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 right.
That's important. So, but how do you? I know you have to put sod and everything down on the roof, but how do you grow things on a rooftop?
Right. Well, a lot of people think we're just throwing like a bunch of dirt and like seeds on a roof or something, but it's not
Right.
like that. There's a whole technology behind green roofs. There's several layers that go down on top of the roof.
Yeah.
First of all, there's the waterproofing. That's something that gets done without us.
Ah.
That's before when
Yeah.
we before we even get there. There's a waterproofing. All roofs need waterproofing, right? The next thing that we put down is a root barrier, and then a drainage board, and then a thick filter fabric. And then we use specialized engineered soil. So it's not just like topsoil, it's specially designed for green roofs. So that means it's lighter weight.
Yeah.
It consists of expanded shale. And then we put in our plants on top.
There you go. And everything works together like a hand in glove. Of course, with a little maintenance.
Maintenance, please, maintenance. We need the maintenance.
Where can we find more information about everything that you're doing? You're doing such a wonderful job. We thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my website's a great place. I have lots of information about green roofs and about the importance of native plants. And that's alivestructures.com.
Hmm.
We also have a great environmental center called Kingsland Wildflowers. That's
Ah,
kingslandwildflowers.com. And that is a wonderful environmental education center. So I encourage everyone to go to that website too to find out more about
Monty, keep those structures alive. Alive structures. Monty
it.
Madrell, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Bob.
All
I
right, and
appreciate
come
it.
back and bring some plants.
Okay,
Something that
no,
we
you
can grow
come
in the
to me.
studio. What can we grow in the
No, no,
studio
no.
here?
Oh my
You need
God.
sunlight. We have lots of lights, but I don't know if that'll work. You know, it's
I'm an
artificial light.
outdoor plant specialty. I don't know if I can do the indoor plants as well as you might need. But
Well,
you're coming to me next time. You're coming to the
there you
roofs,
go.
right?
All right. Well, we can put a
Okay, we
snake
got a
plant in
deal.
here.
Snake plants, that's perfect.
Yeah, they'll work
Snake plants
indoors.
are, yes, do it. Get one.
Thank you so much. We love you.
All right, thank you.
You
Take
got
care.
it. Monty Madrell, founder, Alive Structures. We'll take a quick break. I've got more open coming up next.